Syllas, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. It's really lovely to meet you. And congratulations on a really unique and wonderful film.
Thank you.
Maybe you could just start by introducing it for us. And how did you come across the story, and why did you want to make this for your third feature?
Well, The Miracle of the Sargasso Sea is a very strange thriller. It's the story of two women that are stuck in a swampy town in the west of Greece, and these are two very hurt and broken down women for different reasons each. And as the film progresses, they kind of come together in a way, in a very subconscious and slow way, and discover each other, and then they try to change the settings of their lives in a way, just to say it up to there. So the basic inspiration for the film started from the story of the eels, because this is an eel-producing town, and the eels are, and that strange call that they get at a certain point of when they reach their sexual maturity, and that nobody knows what call, what makes that, what triggers that, and they start to move from the swamps and the sweet waters. They fall into the sea, and they transform into a sea creature that travels for miles and miles from the Mediterranean all the way across the Atlantic to Cuba in the Sargasso Sea, where they breed and they die. This miraculous trigger was, let's say, what we wanted also to investigate in humans. What can be the trigger that makes you change the setting of your life and transform and fight to reclaim what you wanted.
And talk to me about the cast in particular. I mean, Angeliki at the centre, but also the other actors and actresses.
Yeah.
You know, how did you find these particular actors and actresses, and how did you work with them to deliver this particular vision you had for the film?
Angeliki Papoulia, we have worked together in my previous film as well, in A Blast. We are very good friends and collaborators, and we worked with Elizabeth a lot to create this kind of extremely, sometimes often very aggressive policewoman, that she is very hurt, very, in a way, broken down, very self-destructive, and for sure a scandal in the local community. It was very fun to work in the whole physicality of the part. And I think that Angeliki has this sort of courage to, as an actress and an artist, she has the courage to expose both aggression and anger and vulnerability in a very deep level, and that for me was the let's say the best in this work we did together. Then the other character, Rita, is Yula Budali, that we work together in all the scripts of my films also. With Yula we had to create this very silent worker who is a bit, she's a bit of a low life, very, very poor, going to the hatcheries, working in churches, and living always in the shadow of others, but at the same time possesses a huge body strength. She's a very, very built, very strong, very silent person that at a certain point finds a certain strength in herself.
And you seem to use a lot of different styles in the film, this multi-layered aspect to it, with kind of these sort of biblical scenes. How do you characterize your style in this film, and what did you want to achieve with using some of those different
this is a film that is plays a lot with genres and is a bit genre bending, because it creates a sort of a dream space. The basic construction is that of a shared subconsciousness between, in a way, the two female characters, Rita and Elizabeth, and me. In a way, it's this kind of creates this dream space of the film. In that, so we used as a spine a more classic thriller spine in a way in the film, but then we stitched on all sorts of twists, genre twists in the film. There are horror elements, there are biblical elements, there is a lot of nature, there is small community drama. There is even a prologue that is very much policey in a way, like a flick. So this kind of creates this kind of slowly moving, swampy, unstable environment around these women that allows everything else to come together and be triggered in a way. It was, that was what we wanted. We want to create this kind of new tone through this moving genre tones.
And there seems to be a lot of different themes in there, different levels of interpretation you can take kind of on the film, and thinking of almost this like analogy of the eels, you know, trying to find their freedom in parallel with the female characters. So, you know, what do you think the themes are, and what do you want people to take away after they've watched this film?
I'm not going to say what they can take away, but for me, I don't know, something that for sure happens in the film is that you see conflicting versions of paradise. In a way, all the characters have a different. There is a sexual paradise. There is a paradise that has to do with faith. There is a paradise that comes from the struggle for freedom. And then there is also a paradise that comes in glimpses of nature, something that comes and goes away. And this has to do also with the natural surrounding, the specifics of the place. So this paradise is like we all are in life. You know, you think of something that like a paradise, then you might be hurt because this is very far away. You feel that you need to travel a lot to find it, or this comes to you and then goes, and you are saddened by this. And the basic thing as an experience also is that sometimes when you see your paradise distorted or going down, you get very angry and violent at certain points. So this kind of, I think that what the audience can see in this will be there is if through this subconscious, let's say, dream space, these paradises come and go, wave in and wave out as it is in life.
And now seems like a really interesting time for women in cinema. And do you think it's important to you to develop these kind of complex and interesting female characters? And do you think there's more and more space for that in film?
To be honest with you, I don't think so much in gender terms when it comes to that. To me, it's of course when you have two women, you have to make them as you have to create, or to men, you go for the most 3D you can in terms of you can see them in all sorts of all sorts of situations. You have to be able to see the aggression, the vulnerability, even sometimes what you don't want to see, or what you. To me, this is very natural. I never, you know what I mean. I'm not in. I never thought of it in any other way.
And can you very quickly tell us what you're going to be working on next?
I am gonna do. I'm planning a film that will have. And it suits very nicely with what you asked me. This time it's gonna be men. I'm gonna do a story with men that I've never done before.
Right.
Because up to now all my films are with women.
Okay, we'll look forward to that. Well, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations again on a wonderful film.
Thanks. Thank you.